That's the kind of calls you're looking for right there.
Hey guys, Bill Macdonald here. Just wrapped up the Potomac MLF Big 5 event here. You know, it's a decent event, caught a lot of fish. You know, didn't do as well as I'd like, but this is a tidal fishery. You know, and a tidal fishery's kind of always had my number a little bit. You know, I like fishing it, but it's just confusing to me. The water goes up, it falls back down, it goes back up, it falls back down, and just trying to figure that out. I'm not smart enough to run the tides, so I kind of pick areas and go, and what's always been best for me is just grass. You know, in a tidal fishery, there's always grass, there's always a lot of it, so just trying to figure out how to catch them out of that grass. So this week, like I said, there's, you know, we got milfoil here, we have hydrilla, and there's eelgrass. So you got a lot of different combinations, and there's fish living in all three of those things there. And it's figuring out what baits, you know, that you can catch those fish out of. And you know, for me, it just, you know, whenever the water's moving is always better in a tidal deal. You know, like the last 2 hours of the falling or the last 2 hours of the rising seem like they bit a little better for me on that deal. Technique-wise, this was an unusual event for me. You know, I'd leave in the mornings, I'd have 4 or 5 rods on the deck. I caught every fish in practice. I caught every fish in the tournament on 1 rod and on 1 bait. You know, the bait is a thunder cricket. Now I did change the skirt, modified it a little bit, got some purple flash in it, but it's a 1/2 ounce thunder cricket, black blue head with a Rage Menace. That was it. You know, green pumpkin or green pumpkin purple gold. It really didn't matter on that, just whichever one I picked up out of the thing there. And then line wise, you know, was Seagar 17-pound and BizX. But something that was really unique was, this is the first, I just picked these rods up last week on my way here. This is our new signature series rods. This is an Andy Montgomery bladed jig rod, thunder cricket rod. And I've always thrown the Mag Bass 1 rod, which I absolutely love. Picked this rod up and I've not set it back down yet. So the action on it's fantastic. Catfish were crazy here. You know, my line's all frayed up. I caught one on my last cast. I caught about a 15-pound blue cat and would catch probably 10 to 15 catfish a day on this bladed jig. And this rod handled it fantastic. That was a big cat there. Then I paired it up, you know, with the Team Lews Hyper Mag 7.5-to-1 retrieve. And on the retrieve, I mean, you got to play around with it, but for me, it was as slow as I could reel it and keep that blade moving. That was the key. And when you'd hit that grass, you know, just when you'd pull it out of the clump, you know, you get the bite right there. And it just load up. So, you know, and seemed like to me more the milfoil, more the hydrilla was the better than the eelgrass. But I say that, and then this morning I started out in the eelgrass and I caught a limit pretty quick. And there was a little bit of hydrilla and milfoil mixed in with it. So, you know, just playing around in it, varying your retrieve.
That's the kind of calls you're looking for right there.
You know, and when I'd hit those clumps, whether I jerked it out, if it's just straight milfoil, usually I could just reel it out and pop it a little bit. And a lot of times, as soon as you popped it, that's when you got the bite. So.
Narrow call one too. Thank you, Lou.
It was a fun event, caught a lot of fish, just didn't catch the quality size that I really needed to catch. I caught a couple in practice that I thought were going to be good. And what's weird is a lot of times you catch them in practice, you go back, and they're not even in that same area. I mean, they might be 50 or 100 yards away. So that's something on these tides. And you know, I only get to fish tidal waters maybe once every 2 or 3 years when we come up here. So it's got my number, but I'm going to continue to work on it. We'll get better at it. So if you're looking for something to catch some fish on, try our new signature series rods by Lews and thunder cricket, Seagar line, and a Hyper Mag reel. You can't go wrong.